Here's the thing. Sometimes with networking, or what I see, is that people abuse their connection.
100%.
So for example, like if you meet someone, let's say you meet someone that's big, and then you start asking them for favors before you build the relationship. Explain how that could be detrimental.
Super detrimental, because like we're humans. People forget sometimes that we're humans.
Yeah, exactly.
For instance, the lady who did the Barack Obama event, I knew who she was, got her contact. I didn't hit her up right away because it's like, I'm a chess player.
Exactly.
So everything I do in life, I try to do it like the game of life is chess. So you have to be very strategic, but like every piece on the chessboard plays a significant role. You can't overdo it.
Yeah.
The queen can overdo it, you know what I mean? The knight can go diagonal this way, but there's certain pieces, so you gotta be very, very strategic. You don't wanna just, shoot yourself in the foot literally by doing too much. And less is more. I've always learned that less is more.
I agree.
And that's what's got me to like some of the biggest stages in the world.
Welcome back to another episode of the Black is the New Rich podcast, and today we got a very special guest. They call him the voice of the culture. I've been knowing him for over 10 years, and he's been doing his thing, traveling across the world, being an MC and a lot of other entrepreneurial things. But I don't want to keep on talking. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. MC Ebone, the voice of the culture. If you need a voice, I'm your choice. You know what I mean? Master of ceremonies. But yeah, known you, my brother. And thanks for having me. I know it's been supposed to happen, but I'm happy it's happening right now. Yeah. Proud of you though. Black is the New Rich, man.
Thank you.
You're
damn right. We're here. So we go back a long time ago, and you've been doing your thing for a long time. Whenever there's an event in the city, you're probably gonna do it, right?
100%.
So, but before we get into what you're doing now, just take us back from like even college. How did this journey start?
Yeah, so Sheridan College, that's where we met, you know what I mean? Hooping days, you know what I mean? But yeah, what's crazy is it actually started over there because I got a lot of opportunities. Shout out to Omega and Havaya, the whole family, when she was at Sheridan. She plugged me in doing like the pubs, and I was doing the Sheridan Bruins games. Yeah. So shout out to Coach Flack, did the men's and women's game. But my homies had a radio station called TNV, Thursday Night Vibes, and we went to high school together, so I guess they couldn't do it no more. So they hit me up like, yo, we have this radio station, there's an opportunity. And I was like, what? Like, let's do it. I didn't even know what I was doing. I'm like, yo, all right, cool. Then I found out that the radio station had, like, it was online, but it also had 89.5. So that was, if you're in the west end, east end of Toronto, you could hear a little static, but that was at a Seneca York campus out in Bayview. So I took that opportunity, did the radio station Thursday Night Vibes every Thursday, had a couple DJs, Donette, Hype Green, and then I stuck with DJ X Bunny, who helped me. And every Thursday we were just doing it, playing music online. At that time, African music, Afrobeats wasn't a thing. So that was the outlet for Toronto. So we were like trending in Toronto, Ontario, almost every week.
So you guys were playing Afrobeats
then? Yeah.
Okay,
so we'll mix the hip hop, the R&B, the reggae was a must. Yeah. And then throw in the African music because there was no channel for that. Yeah. And that's where a lot of traffic, like Instagram just picked up, so that's why I was able to grow a lot of engagement and followers on Twitter and Instagram at that time, because it wasn't really a thing, it just had started. And then we took it from there. And then XB, he knew like the big D, like White Boy, Steenie, the Charlie B's. Yeah. And then through the radio station, they're like, yo, bring it to these clubs and parties. So Cool House, Government, and then we just took over from there, literally. Jeez. And I didn't even know what I was getting myself into, but I'm glad that I took on the opportunity. Shout out to XB, because he was on me. Like, he was like, yo, I heard you have a radio station, I want to be your DJ. Yeah. Like, he would literally follow me to parties, and he was so aggressive that I was like,
at the time, did you know, could you foresee what you're doing today?
Nah, I had no idea. Like, the first time I picked up a mic, I was doing it for free. Yeah. They handed me $50. Shout out to Afro Entertainment. And I was like, when I collected that $50 at that time, that was big. I filled up my tank. I was like, yo, okay, I could do this. Yeah. And then we did like back-to-back New Year's Eve. It was the 31st and January 1st. So I made $100. And I was like, yo, like I'm coming from working jobs, waited 2 weeks. So I was like, okay, we can do this. Yeah. Just took the gamble, no risk, no reward. So.
Yeah, 100%. So for the people that, you know, that haven't seen you do an event, I've seen you control a room, right? And that's a skill in itself. And even for myself, like I want to get into public speaking, right? Give me some tips on how you control a room.
To be honest, it's become so natural, and like, thank God for my parents. Like from if you watch my childhood videos, I put some on my Instagram. I don't know why, but my parents are always recording me. So I was always in front of a camera. Like at church, I always picked up the mic. I was the one to just be. So like church played a big part.
Okay.
Because we had to like read your Bible scriptures
in front of everybody. Okay.
From young, you had to go up there, do your commandments, read the Bible scripts, memorize it. So from church days, it made it very, very easy. And then like high school, middle school, I was always the loudest in the room.
Yeah.
You know, literally one of my teachers, like Miss Magarelli, shout out to her. I have to actually go find her, but she's like, yo, one day you're gonna be a star. You're gonna actually become this voice. Like it's crazy. And in my math class, she wouldn't even really make me do the work. She would just make me speak and tell everybody what work we had to do.
Wow.
And she would hold me down.
Wow. So she's seen your potential.
Yeah, big. Made me run the candy shop at the school store.
Yeah.
So like that's where a lot of the business etiquette came from, and just learning little things. But then, you know, you became that guy at the school. So I went to Chinguzi. Wasn't really that big of a school in Brampton.
Yeah.
But I made like a song, Bouncy Bouncy, that went viral on YouTube.
Yeah.
Had to take it down because a church pastor's daughter was in it. Like,
oh, God.
So a lot from like grade 10, 11, it picked up. And in college, being around you guys, like hooping with you guys. And the thing that you guys didn't realize, you guys are so good at ball. The fact that you guys embraced me not knowing who I was, and then being the voice of the team, that built my confidence to be like, okay, I can really do this. Like I had this talk with Jelani the other day, and he's like, yo, you've come so far. I'm like, yo, you guys really, really helped me. Like, those ball runs, it played a part. So when I look back, I'm like, but you know, there's little tips where I always, before I speak, it's already in my head, like what I'm about to say.
Did you know that the Black Dollar leaves the community within 6 minutes? That's why we are excited to introduce the new Black is the New Rich app, designed for the Black community to be more intentional about where we spend our dollar. The directory consists of mostly financial services like real estate agents, financial advisors, tax consultants, mortgage agents, videographers, photographers, and many more. With our app, you can easily find and connect with quality services that are owned by Black entrepreneurs. And to ensure the integrity of the service on our app, all directory members are held accountable if they receive multiple bad reviews. Our mission is to circulate the dollar and provide quality services to our community. Download the Black is the New Rich app today and start investing in your...
It's already put in my head when I'm driving, or if I'm by my...
Are you practicing in the car and
I
stuff
doesn't
like
even know. My manager doesn't even know this, but the other day I was home just chilling, and I just had to like boost myself. So I was just doing something. I was... my chest and screaming. I'm like, yo, I'm Ebone. Like I had to really get back into my groove. But those are little things I do. And then obviously, you know, listen to the greats and watch some podcasts and some shows, and just kind of, I like to rewatch my videos a lot.
Okay, so that's big.
Huge.
Okay.
So I try to learn, or like the World Cup video, like if somebody likes it or comments, I'm rewatching it and like taking back to some of my big moments, like the Barack Obamas and whatever big things that I've done to see where I can learn and take it to the next level. But I've had a lot of great mentors in this game, like, you know, Tyrone Edwards, T-Rex, Akil Augustine from like OVO Bounce days that actually helped me. And I honestly, the OVO structure and Drake, I've studied them so much that it's like, if you see where they came from, he knew he was going to become this guy.
Yes.
And you have to have that built-in confidence to become great. So, you know, I know when you start your public speaking, it's the same thing. It's like what you're doing right here. Like,
this is practice, to be honest.
And you know, we talking about practice. So we're in the main, like the more repetitive you are, it just becomes a skill set where you can just get it. Like we did one event, I won't say too much, I don't want them to know how we did it, but we literally prepared 24 hours before, and I was like going crazy. We had to sit down, I was drinking water, I'm like, yo, it's tomorrow. Big government event, and we nailed it. But that just came with a lot of practice. And you know, over time you'd be able to
build your confidence. Cool. So I've seen you in the room with a lot of different people, a lot of big people. I went through your Instagram today. I seen like Fab. I seen Obama. I seen like other politicians. Tell me about some of the people that you've worked with that we all know.
Our former mayor, John Tory, that one was big because that's at a time where like I realized I needed the city of Toronto's backing.
Yeah.
And when I got in through the political aspect, that's where a lot of the government stuff you see me doing. Barack Obama, that was huge.
Jeez.
That was the start of 2020, so just before the pandemic. And like I lost my son in 2018, so like it happened. Yeah, I appreciate that. It happened. The Barack Obama happened at a time where they only gave me tickets to go to the event. And when I saw the tickets, I'm like, I don't want tickets.
Yeah, you want
I need to speak.
Yeah.
So I literally DM'd the lady who was putting it on.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my gosh, we actually don't even have an MC.
Yeah.
So she reached out to one of the people that actually recommended me already. And then he reached me out. He's like, yo, Gary, shout out to Gary Newman. He reached out to me. He's like, yo, I don't know what you did.
Yeah.
But they want you to host this Obama event. He's like, what did you do? I'm like, yo, I sent her a DM.
Yeah.
And literally, like, one day I'm going to break it down because it's literally Instagram. I shouted her out the DM. I'm like, hey, I got tickets.
Yeah.
But, like, if you need me,
I'm here.
I'm here.
So when you do that, right? When you reach out to people, do you show, okay, this is the list of work I've done? Like, how does that work?
Nah, literally, I'm gonna
I want to get into the game.
Yeah, let me bring this one up because that one was like big chess.
Okay.
Because I hosted, shout out to C Toronto. So C Toronto is a center for young black professionals. So I joined them, and I was hosting a graduation. So after the graduation, they're like, oh, everybody is now getting tickets to the Barack Obama event. Now I had hosted the same people who were putting on the event. I hosted their event like in November.
Yeah.
So Barack Obama January, I hosted the event in November.
Okay.
They were talking about something big happening, and Gary was like, yo, trust me, now that you got in, like, trust me, something big is happening. So just stay by my side and keep doing what you're doing. So then when I peeped that all of this was happening, I'm like, yo, they told me that like they'll use me.
Yeah.
I'm seeing flyers. I'm not involved. I remember seeing Rose Gold posted a flyer that she's DJing.
Yeah.
Like,
but it
that's
wasn't
my
done yet.
homie.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo,
why am I not in there?
I'm like, yo, what's going on? And then I literally took the chance. Like, when I bring up this DM, you're gonna be.
Oh, that's crazy because I always say, like, whether it's MCing, whether it's just public speaking, I feel like those type of jobs, like there's money in them, but I feel like a lot of people don't know how to navigate the business part of it, so after you show that DM, I want to get into the business aspect of it.
Yeah, man. So literally January 19, I think the event was like the 23rd, 29th, one of those. I literally January 19th, so the graduation was the 18th. I literally Can you read it? It's crazy.
Can I read it?
Yeah, you can read it.
So it says, hey, how are you doing? I worked with you guys last year at Ryerson. Best way to contact you. Yeah, you're just being super cool, like introducing yourself. I said you guys partnered up with the fact and I have my good friend Royal Gold. Yeah, that's one.
So I haven't even really broke this story down.
Jeez.
And literally, she said like that message. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna reach out to Gary."
Yeah.
And then literally Gary texted me, and I was like, "Yo," off a DM.
Wow. So shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot. One of the biggest events, big pay. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna pay big payday."
Yeah.
That was a big one, and that has helped me travel the world. Like anywhere I go, that's one of the first things they're saying. Like Messiah Jury's non-for-profit team just hit us up the other day, Giants of Africa, and they want to get some work done. And he's like, yo, like I seen, and when I was thinking about it, I'm like, yo, they don't even know how I got this stuff done. But you shoot your shot, you never know, right? And it could take you anywhere. Okay,
so for the MCs coming up, when it comes to the business aspect of the game and negotiating deals and finding gigs, I guess how did you start? You explained it a little bit earlier, but even now, like, how are you finding your gigs, or just gigs coming to you?
Yeah, so a big shout out to Shane Sterling. So he started Vanguard, and he reached out to like Matt Mogul. Matt Mogul reached out to me like, yo, there's this Nike thing that we're doing, and we want you to be a part of it. And at that time, I was the voice of the party. So when I met Shane Sterling, he's the one who taught me about branding.
Yes.
And like that's when
I get into that later too.
I switched to the voice of the culture, because shout out to the Migos, Culture, their album. Yeah, that's what made me switch, because I was listening to that. Did some videos.
So sorry, did you feel like when you were the voice of the party, that was pigeonholing you into just doing parties?
Tyrone Edwards, man. I
Shout out to
realized
him.
he was the one that was letting me know, like, yo,
You got to switch it up a little bit.
there's a bigger lane for you. Like,
Yeah.
parties is cool, but there's some real corporate bags, and if you're still stuck in this party thing,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get there. So you got to switch it up. So I was listening to all these things. At that time, because of like C Toronto, I went to the Remix Project.
Yes.
When I started to host OVO Bounce, that's when OVO Basketball now, but that's when I was like, okay, branding, Nike, like they're teaching us all these business etiquettes. We're in business class. Shout out to Lo, and I'm like, yo, okay, I gotta switch this up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm
Gotta
realizing,
rebrand.
yeah, I gotta rebrand.
Yeah.
At that time, I just came out of jail.
Yeah.
So like, I even lied to Remix Project just to make sure I got in the program.
Yeah.
And then when I told them, they actually liked it and
Yeah.
they stuck by my side because I was on house arrest and I had like curfews, so it was like only so much I could do. But I was paying attention, and like Daniel Division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have said Division first. He's my teacher, Daniel. But when I realized who he was, because at the time he was just one of the mandem. He's a
Yeah.
teacher. He's cool.
Yeah.
Then you find out he's this big
Singer.
artist. Drake signs him.
Yeah.
And like I was with this guy every day. Then there's Jesse Reyes. Then like, you know, the list goes on because Remix Project birthed a lot of GOATs. So I was just paying attention to the greats. Like I would literally go on Tyrone Edwards' Instagram. Okay, why is he posting like this?
Yeah.
Why is he moving like this? Why?
Yeah.
Like I'll be at parties with him, but he's not posting the parties.
Yeah.
But he's posting this. And now when you look back, see him on E-Talk, like I get it.
You
But
understand
I did a
how he
lot
got there.
of research.
Okay.
And listening, like a lot of listening. Shane literally taught me everything I know. He's like, yo, these brands, you want to work with them? So I was able to bless.
What are brands looking for?
Yo, they're looking for. So at the time, my Instagram was like MC_Ebone.
I remember.
So I switched it because Shane taught me about the double letter effect.
What is that about?
So yeah, so 2 letters. So like
Yeah.
I'm MC Ebone,
Yes.
double E.
Yeah.
So Shane Sterling, double S. Matt Mogul, double M.
Okay,
Brooklyn
okay.
Brand, double B.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing. He's like, yo, that like when your name can catch attention,
That
when you're
ring,
ready
it
to do
has that
things,
ring.
it rings to it.
Yeah.
So everybody found their way. So I was like, yo, like I remember talking to Matt. I'm like, yo, how did you get the Mogul? He's like,
Yeah.
yo, just talking to Shane and doing my thing, and this is what I wanted to do. Brooklyn Brand.
Yeah.
It's like everything was branding.
Yeah.
So like he put that Shane Sterling. Luckily that was his name. A lot of people get lucky too.
Yeah.
So when I found that out, I did my research. I was like, yo, MC really stands for EMCEE. Like Master of Ceremonies is the EMCEE.
Yeah.
Saw that, made the switch immediately.
Okay.
And then if you look in Toronto, a lot of MCs now switched up their thing to
Yeah.
be EMCEE.
Yeah.
When nobody was doing that at the time.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of flattering, and I just love to all my other MCs out there. But
Yeah.
I knew how like significant that change was in paying attention. So sometimes
and that little stuff, that's a little change. Okay, I would
Simple.
never think about that.
no, it's deep. Super
Okay.
deep.
So obviously you're in an industry where there's a lot of networking, there's a lot of relationship building. Can you talk to me about the importance of that?
Super important. You know, your network is your net worth, like literally. So anywhere I go, and like my manager will tell you all the time when it comes to dressing, like alone before you even speak, the way you're dressed is what speaks into volume.
Facts.
So
Facts.
like I always know that in this world you can't do nothing alone, and you don't know who nobody is. There's a lot of people who like just by me doing little things like going to Remix Project, buying everybody Tim Hortons, or like if I'm going somewhere, just bringing something, just holds so much value. And like
value.
you know, just you want to make sure that you keep everything clean. Like when you go on my Instagram page, I just make it in a way where you come on my page, you're just gonna keep scrolling. The more you scroll, you're gonna see the work I've been doing, and you're gonna be willing to work. So that's how a lot of bookings come
Yeah.
in. Like, because if somebody tags me on a post or posts me somewhere, they're gonna click, they're gonna look, it's clean.
Yeah.
All
It's
right,
exactly
cool.
what they're looking for.
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense. But here's the thing. Sometimes with networking, or what I see, is that people abuse their connection.
100%.
So for example, like if you meet someone, let's say you meet someone that's big, and then you start asking them for favors before you build the relationship. Explain how that could be detrimental.
Super detrimental, because like we're humans. People forget sometimes that we're humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're like today. Shout out to this guy today.
Yeah.
I was at Union Station and I was just sitting eating, and this guy passed me, and he held me up. He's like, "Yo, Ebone, you're doing your thing." I held him up.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, "Yo, I really can't go nowhere." Like, but it was cool because I was just trying to eat.
Yeah.
The man went upstairs and came back.
Oh, jeez.
But he's smart.
Yeah.
Then he's like, "Yo, you don't know, I seen you like 16 years ago on the bus."
Yeah.
And like to see what you're doing now,
Wow.
I just want to introduce. He's like, he was going up the escalator, and he's like, "Yo, I just have to introduce myself. I couldn't let this go by."
Yeah.
And I rated it. I'm like, "Yo, like, that's what it is." And he was telling me what he was into. His cousin's doing music.
Yeah.
So like that already made me want to even help.
Yes.
Because you didn't have to do that. You could have been rushing. You know, I gave him my number, texted, and he was cool. He's not doing the most.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yo, here's his Instagram, here's his music. If you like it, let me know. I can send you more." He didn't do too much. Because I don't know what he does on his spare time, or you know what I mean. He'll watch this. I'm gonna send this to him so he knows. But I felt that key, and people don't know. It's like I said, going back, we're humans. So like, you don't even know we could be having an off day.
100%.
Something could go wrong. But we gotta, like, you know, it's in the Bible too. We're talking about biblical stuff, but treat others like you want to be treated. So it's like, the one thing I forgot to mention when it comes to network is like your confidence. You introducing yourself, what you do, keeping it short and simple. And trust me, if it's meant to be, it's going to be.
Exactly. Because even sometimes now, people will approach and they just want to tell me about their idea right then and there, or they just want to text me about their idea. But I'm like, let's build a relationship first. We just met. I want to do business with people that I genuinely have a relationship with, you know. And I just feel like people forget that human aspect that you're talking about.
That's the biggest part. So I keep it like, there's so many times, so many people. Like for instance, the lady who did the Barack Obama event, I knew who she was, got her contact. I didn't hit her up right away because it's like, I'm a chess player.
Exactly.
So everything I do in life, I try to do it like the game of life is chess. So you have to be very strategic, but like every piece on the chessboard plays a significant role into trying to win. There's only so many moves the knight can do.
Yeah.
So it's like that L's all you could do. That's 3 steps. You can't overdo it.
Yeah.
The queen can overdo it, you know what I mean? The knight can go diagonal this way, but there's certain pieces, so you gotta be very, very strategic. You don't want to just, you know, shoot yourself in the foot literally by doing too much. And you know, less is more. I've always learned that less is more.
I agree.
And that's what's got me to like some of the biggest stages in the world.
Jeez.
And you know, I could sit here today and just be here with you.
Yeah.
And literally, we have a great relationship, and more is gonna come out of it. But it's like when we went to Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah.
My manager saw your hat. Your hat alone did wonders. Took the picture. But it's like certain things, certain things, and that goes back to what we were talking about dressing, and certain little things, branding is so key because that will start another relationship. And that's what kind of got us back into our common, like, okay,
let's do this.
Let's do this.
Exactly.
Really
Fair.
So
you're traveling all around the world, and I want other MCs to see this and be like, yo, you can really make a living off of this, right? And how are you getting your international run? How's that working? Like, how's that happening for you?
Some people will be shocked, but yo, we have family all over the world.
Oh, wow.
So
that helps.
Yeah. So big shout to Anthony Bennett, AB, and a lot of my cousins. So like, for instance, when AB was drafted, well, not drafted, but like when he got drafted, I went to New York. And at that time, my cousins were out in New York, and I had a homie called Jay Badman. So I knew, like, me and Randy sat down. He's like, yo, AB's about to go drafted. Like, if you want to come to the draft, let me know. I took the train with Freddie to just go. And then we end up setting up the whole draft party for him because he went number 1. Then we did the one in Toronto. And it's so crazy because me being there at that moment, no one knew AB was going to go number 1.
Yeah, no one.
He wasn't supposed to go number 1.
Yeah.
But literally me being there in that moment. And, you know, I was watching Earn Your Leisure. They did this video the other day where they're just talking about being in the room.
Yeah.
And not just being.
Yes, I seen that too.
It's like just being in the room. There's so much to it because you can miss out on so much money by not being in the room.
Yes.
Some people look at, oh, it's this, like, it's too much. It's going to cost this ticket. Me and Freddie went on a bus. I don't even remember where I slept. To be honest, I probably slept in Randy's hotel, or like me and Freddie, I remember at the hotel before Randy got there, we slept after the bus. We slept at the hotel in the couches. We were so tired.
Jeez.
I don't remember work because after that night we didn't sleep. We did we went number 1.
Yeah.
We had like 3 celebrations back to back. But me being there in that moment did so much for me.
Yeah.
And maybe even realize, yo, this is bigger than life.
Yeah.
Like my friend just became a millionaire. Just
overnight. Literally.
Like, crazy. And I was only like, it was me, Randy, Freddie. There wasn't a lot of us in New York at the Barclays Center.
Yeah.
So when I tweeted, yes, we just went number 1, that got retweeted. It spreaded like everywhere.
Yeah.
But just if I wasn't there, it wouldn't be the same.
Yes, exactly.
So that is what birthed me in downtown.
Okay.
So now, like, I remember the whole time coming up, I wanted respect in downtown. I came up in the dancehall scene.
Yeah.
So, like, it wasn't really respected.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's just a dancehall MC, or he's just, like, the club MC. But downtown was, like, the pinnacle of where you want to get to.
Yeah.
But the minute I surrounded myself around the NBA player, it changed everything.
The perception of everything.
So it's like, oh, not only is the MC, he's with the NBA guys. Not only is with the NBA guys, like, he's rolling with these guys.
Yeah.
Like, he's there at the draft.
Yeah.
Like, everything just changed.
Okay.
So now I'll reach out to my cousins and tell them, like, okay, I'll tell my cousin, like, yo, you know what? Let me just host your event. I'll get there. I just need to stay at your house, and then we'll figure out payments later.
Yeah.
But I knew I had cousins everywhere. So, like, Columbus, Ohio. That's one of my biggest places where I do weddings, parties, concerts, everything over there. My cousin, family friend, church friend, Harrison.
Yes.
I reached out to him. I'm like, yo, I need to start doing more stuff in the States.
Okay, so you're
like,
using your network in your family.
It's deep.
And you're saying, okay, I have family in Columbus. I'm gonna call someone. I want to do an event, whether I get paid or not. I'm just gonna I'm gonna make my mark there, so everyone sees that I'm moving around. I'm moving, and once everyone sees that I'm moving, then more opportunity comes.
Chess. And it literally, like, during the pandemic, I did my first wedding I got to do was in Columbus.
Okay.
And go years back, that's the first place that, like, embraced me. First city that paid for my flight, hotel. After that, like, they paid for my flight, hotel, payments.
Yeah.
And it was like a regular thing. Now, all my cousins in New York, Washington are like, yo, we need you here. So it was just a domino effect.
Okay.
But, you know, there was times I'll tell these guys, I'll be like, there was one time AB held me down at his spot. I literally stayed at his crib, and I was hosting events in New York, and they didn't know where I was staying, but shout out to AB, I was staying at his place, and then they'll just pay me all in.
Wow.
And as long as I had a place to stay in,
then you're good. Okay.
Good to go. So it's like outsourcing, but like not only in your city. People think it's too much in your, like, it's in your city.
Yeah.
But back to, like, OVO. So when I was hosting OVO Bounce, I knew how important, like, the OVO brand was.
Yes.
Drake, Toronto. So, like, I remember there's a picture on my gram where I take a selfie. I was literally MCing and Drake comes by, and I'm like, yo, I need this now. I'm like, yo, Jizzy, I'm on the mic. I'm like, yo, Jizzy, can I get a pic? He's like, yo, let's do it. I took the picture, but because I was so nervous and it happened so quick, the picture came out blurry. But remember, it's Drake, so all eyes are on Drake.
Everyone knows.
The photographer took the picture of me getting the picture, so I got a clear, professional picture of the picture. So the first picture went crazy, but then when everyone saw it and I broke it down,
and it's everything's obviously perception, and now they see you with Drake. And then even when I went on your Instagram, I'm seeing Fab, I'm seeing a bunch of people, and that's all helping your brand, because I'm guessing now everyone's like, yo, who's that guy? What does he do? I need him at my events.
Literally, and it just works like that. And like, even that wasn't my first picture with Drake, because Charlie B had invited me out to Drake night. So back to Randy. Randy gave me, I just came out of jail.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be home. And Randy says, yo, you know what? Let's go to a Raptors game. It's Drake night. He brings me out to Drake night. I literally called Charlie B. I'm like, yo, Charlie B had these sick Raptor jackets. I bought the jacket.
Yeah.
$100 and something bucks, and put that on, went to the game. And then Charlie B's like, yo, we're doing Drake night at Lost and Found at a +1. And I got there, but when I'm there now, in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm on house arrest.
Yeah.
I need to be going home.
Yeah.
The only way out of this, to my mom is ringing me down.
Yeah. Like,
because I promised her, I'm like, I'm just going to the game.
Yeah.
That's it. But now we just got invited to, like, the club OVO party. I'm like, Randy's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, bro, what do you mean? We're going. My mom's ringing me down. I'm not listening. God. But I'm like, yo, if I get a picture with Drake, that'll change everything. I sent to my mom. At least one thing, my parents don't really listen to hip hop music, but they know Drake. So I got there. I knew, and I'm so smart because of clubs. I know what it is. So like, when you see a section blocked off for somebody,
that means somebody
big is coming.
Yeah.
So I literally waited. Let's say there was a booth like this. I'm standing in front of the booth. So when Drake and them come, now they're right in front of the booth. Drake just ends up beside me. It's Drake, P. Rain.
Yeah.
I see the photographer. I look at him. I'm like, yo.
Take this.
Took the picture. He sent it to me the next day.
Yeah.
My mom was pissed, but then I got the picture the next day. And I sent it to her. And literally after that day, my mom left me alone. She said, you know what? Do your thing. Like, as long as you communicate with me.
Because you're playing chess. Makes sense.
So like, just, it's like thinking outside the box. Like it's really not that hard, but once you build confidence into knowing you can like do this, it becomes like natural. Like everything is like 50 Cent, I knew he was gonna become this biggest thing. Get Rich or Die or Trying was shot in Toronto. This guy's been in the movie. Like he's been shooting a documentary of his life. He's been so aggressive of knowing that he's the man. He doesn't care.
Because he has an unwavering confidence.
And we all go through trials and tribulations. So like, you know, when he went through his trials and tribulation, that's what built confidence, because it's like when you're down at the bottom, only way is up. So you have no choice but to succeed.
Oh, geez. So I want to talk about the early mistakes that you might have made, because everyone likes to talk about their successes.
We still making mistakes. It's crazy.
Even now, let's
but the early mistakes.
Let's talk about early mistakes, and let's talk about some of the challenges that you're going through now.
Probably the early mistakes was just thinking I knew everything.
Explain that. Elaborate that.
Like literally, you're becoming. I remember 2011. That's when I started. And now, because the radio station, you're the man. Everyone's Ebone this, Ebone that. Everyone's trying to book you. You're just, people see you, they want pictures. I'm like, I don't got to listen to nobody. I got my own ego. Like, you really can't tell me nothing. Like, I know where I'm going. I'm with the celebs. Like, I'm hosting the biggest concerts. But at that time, like, trust me, if I was to go back, there's so many things I did wrong. Like, not capitalizing off of like what we were making 2011, we were making so much money. Like off of parties I was doing. So every time I used to do a party, I wanted to make sure I was the guy. So I would go to Chinese, Hang Shing was the spot. We would go, there was another restaurant I forgot. I think it was Gardens or some restaurant. After the parties, I'm buying food for everybody.
Oh geez, so you're just balling out.
Like, I didn't care.
Like,
I'm buying food. Like, oh, you bought a ticket at my party? You supported me? Here, take your money back.
Oh,
like
God.
stupid, dumb stuff that you don't need to be doing. You know, buying out things. Like, there's so many hats now I have that I don't even wear. That I remember I always wanted to be in lids. I always, when the new J's drop, I was just doing the most. Because,
but maybe it's because like you always wanted it earlier.
That too, but I overdid it. I overdid it. Like my mom told me, like I remember I bought my first car was like this 1993 Honda Accord. Bought it at like Islington Finch. I was 15. I didn't even have a license.
Oh my God.
I drove the car back to Brampton from Rexdale with bad plates. It like said 99. I used my car key to circle it.
Oh my God.
My mom was trying to tell me, calm down. Like, you don't need to rush. Like, everything would be smooth. But I just knew how important it was. Because like when I was doing the radio station, my car didn't even have insurance. And those times we used to like buy insurance slips. That was the thing back in the day. So I was driving dirty, but I had a plan. So like I knew like this radio station, you have to drive. There's no way.
You have to get around.
So but like if I listened to my mom, if I just at that time I had people telling me like the owner of On the Rocks, Jason, he was trying to tell me to save your money. You're gonna need it one day. But I was like, yo, we're always gonna be doing these parties. We're gonna be good. You don't need to worry about nothing. And just like a lot of friendships fell out because they knew me from before who I was. But now I kind of moving different. I wouldn't follow back on Instagram. Back in the day at that time, it was so important to follow back. But I'm like, I don't need to follow you back.
So they're taking it personal.
Super personal. But now, like years later, all my people, like I don't even care about that.
It's different now.
It's the least of my worries. But like business wise too, I didn't register my business till I think 2016, 2017.
5 years in.
So I didn't register my business till later because a lot of universities and colleges were booking me and they're asking me for HST number.
Oh, true.
But at that time, my graphic designer who was helping me do it, my brand, she would always tell me like, yo, you got to register your business. You got to do your taxes. You can write off all these things. I just had cash. So I was just buying everything I needed, not knowing that this could be a tax write-off. You can get this back. So we splurged, but we learned now. We're good now. We're handling everything. Everything's,
taken care
corporation, of. We're good to go. So, but
what are some of the challenges that you are facing now, even at this stage?
Just what are we facing right now, man? Well, right now we're at a point where it's like we need to get actual talent booking agent. Like that's one thing I learned. I was talking to Jabril from Get Fresh. And he's like, yo, you're doing a lot of this on your own. Imagine you had somebody at
how does that work? They just like get your gigs, they make a cut.
So like agencies are already, like companies are already signing contracts and deals with these guys.
Okay.
To set up stuff.
Okay.
Like it's already in the, because a lot of people think like Jabril, he's like, yo, who's your agent? Like, I'm like, yo, it's just me and my manager, my team. Like, he's like, yo, you're doing this in like, I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, you're blessed. But trust me, you see what Tyrone's doing?
Yeah.
But he has an agent.
Yes.
That's where you take it to the next level. So that's something that's new. I never even really heard that. And like, because I had guys like Shane who got me into Nike, got me into Jordan.
Yeah, so you had the connects.
But he was low-key an agent.
Yeah.
Because he, like, Nike will basically reach out to him to do a contract, and then he sets up, organizes all these events, and then he just hires everybody. So he taught me that aspect of stuff. But even him, like, it took me a while to switch to the voice of the culture.
Yeah.
Because he was telling me, like, yo, you're doing good, but you need to rebrand and switch everything up. And then, like, me so hard-headed until Migos came out with the culture, but thank God they did, because only God knows what I would have came up with. But when I heard that, I was like, yo,
the sticks.
I got it. I literally called Christine, was my photographer, Shireen Robinson, Rainey. I said, yo, I need to do a photo shoot right now. At that time, I reached out to my girlfriend's brother, and she, like, I'm like, yo, he had a condo at Shangri-La, and then we did a recap. We did this video over there. And that is what January. I dropped it in January. Yeah. And that's what made I introduced everyone to who the voice of the culture was.
Because you're everywhere now. Like everywhere. I see you everywhere. But geez. So let's talk about like negotiating your price. How does that work at this level? Are you still going back and forth, or is it like, yo, this is what it is?
Yeah, no. We're at, it is what it is. Like I was talking to my boy the other day. He's like, yo, how much you charging for weddings? I told him the price. He's like, yo, bro, it is like, that's where we're at right now. Yeah. Like we don't even bargain no more. Like, you know, sometimes there's families.
You got the
friends.
resume.
Yeah, the resume speaks for itself. And if it's an off day in the week, then we could work something out. But like, there's a standard, and like, just came back from the World Cup.
Yeah. There's a resume.
You know what I mean? So when you realize and you start working with these companies, you see where things are at. And back to Shane, like Shane taught me, like at one time, I remember Shane's like, yo, and now you need to be charging $750 an hour. Like, and I was like, huh?
$750 an hour.
He's like, yo. And then he's starting to get me these, and Nike's just boom.
Yeah, paying. And
they're like, yo.
And once you reach a certain threshold, you can't go below that after. That's your price.
Nope. And then doing your research, because a lot of these events and a lot of these companies, when they're getting sponsored, the sponsorship dollars are there. They're there to spend it. So you'll literally shoot yourself in the foot if you just sell yourself. And then doing your research. Like Shane one day told me, he's like, yo, go look what Master of Ceremonies actually charge. Go look what a public speaker actually charges. And you're like, bro, they're getting racks. They're getting big money. So in order to get to that level, you got to associate with the right people. Your brand has to align with what they're doing. You need to showcase your talent. Put these things out there in socials. Like, you know, I'm right now probably one of the biggest challenges. I now have to change everything. Like I've mastered Instagram, I've mastered Snapchat, all those stuff. But I need to get on TikTok. Like I'm on TikTok, but TikTok
it's a little different,
bro.
It's a little different.
So I literally told Ike that day, I'm like, yo, you know what? We don't have time for this. I need to find and hire a social media manager. Yeah, that's just where it's at. Yeah, because I be like, even when I came back from Jamaica, I didn't post nothing. I don't have time. Yeah, like we're so busy getting the real work done that we don't have time, and it's okay. Find somebody who's good at what they do. Yeah,
and just delegate. Okay, so I want to talk about branching out, because I seen it's PR. What is it? PR with Hutsy? What's the?
Yeah, so I'm the director of PR, public relations.
Okay, so you've been an MC. Now you're the director of public relations. That's something totally different. How did you even branch out to doing something like that, and how important is to do other things?
Yes. So shout out to my Hutsy financial team. The story is crazy though, but shout out to Tafari Bailey. He's a CEO. So literally, we met at Collision. Okay. So I met Tafari Bailey at Collision, but like
that was last year's tech thing, right? Yeah.
So everyone saw the majority of people saw the Dragon's Den thing. So I knew when I saw this guy, like the first time I saw him, I really introduced him properly, and like I introduced him to Randy, to Kisa at that time, and then we followed each other, took each other's number. But see, you never know who's watching. So when we followed each other, Tafari was just paying attention to what I'm doing, and I'm just doing what I do, but I'm doing it at a level. Yeah. So when I did the World Cup now, it was like he reached out to me like, yo, Ebone, we gotta connect. Like, I see what you're doing, but this is crazy. You just did the World Cup. Like, you got a lot of great relations, and you literally introduced, because Tafari at the time, he didn't know a lot of people, like, and it makes sense because to be who he is today in that financial space, you
have to lock in. Exactly.
You don't have time for people
and networking like crazy.
So like sometimes when I'm introduced to people, I'm like, yo, you don't know this person? Like, yo, I have no idea. But when we came back, he reached out to me. He's like, yo, can you host my New Year's party? And it's crazy. I called Ike, my manager. I'm like, yo, I'm supposed to go to Ghana. But Tafari, he wants me to host his New Year's Eve party.
Yeah.
You know? So like, but I need to lock in with this guy because what he's about to do, he's about to change though.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, Hutsi, it's a financial institution who's helping people like build your credit with a debit card.
Yeah.
So the first
Big
debit
time.
card to help you build your credit.
Game changer.
And like getting approved from
especially for our community.
It's huge. It's huge. And he came from a bank space. So like literally we connected after we did the New Year's Eve party and killed it. We're like, yo, let's follow up. And then we went out to eat. I went to his crib and he's like, yo, this is what we're doing. This is what I want to do. And like, yo, you literally know everybody that I'm trying to reach out to. I don't have time to. And there's no director position of public relations. So like, if you're down, I'll draft up a contract and let's get this done because you're already doing this.
Yeah.
Because what intrigued Tafari was I went to the World Cup the first time with Free. So Free is the reason why I went to the World Cup the first time. But I was able to like leverage my relations in Qatar and they brought me back for the second time.
Oh, wow.
So when he saw that,
yeah, it's a done deal.
It was like,
so then talk about how important it is, like just having value. Like he needed something that you have, and that was like, you know, your network and just your ability to connect. So how important is it to have value when it comes to even business relationships? Because again, like we were talking earlier, some people have all these ideas, but it's only one way, right? So how important it is to have value again?
Nah, it's almost everything. Like it's literally everything, because your perception of how people look at you is how your value and your stock go up.
Facts.
It's literally like, you know, sometimes we have companies reaching out and they're right away, they're like, yo, we have X, Y, and Z, but it's at a level because they already understand. Like if you're working with the government of Canada, if you're working with these artists and this, we understand because we already work with some of these people. So now you're in spaces where people are familiar. So they already know. So when I went to Qatar, and I came at the second time, we were able to bring out Stoneboy, so I was able to perform as Stoneboy. But they knew at the time they needed an Afrobeat artist, and they also saw me in Qatar, so they're like, yo, we want to do this. But they already understood where everything is at.
Yeah.
So like your value is everything. I always tell people it's like quality over quantity, right? And it's like the way you position yourself and the way you make yourself seen, the way you dress, the way you speak, the events that you're showcasing and what you're doing. Because I still do some of my friends' parties and stuff, but I can't promote it, and they're cool with it.
Yeah.
My value, the voice, my voice holds so much value that they don't even need me to promote it.
Yeah.
They just probably need to put my name on a flyer. They don't need me to push it.
And you don't have to promote it at this point.
Nope. And they respect and know that, like, okay, if Ebone's at this event, if I need to hit a bar quota, or if I need people to enjoy themselves, it's gonna get done.
Yeah.
So like I've now shown and proved to everybody that like, yo, this is what I could do. So I can do things my way and build my brand the way I want to and not worry. And you know, he still has some people like, yo, Postify, but you know what it is. Those are my people I grew up with. So they still want, yo.
They see you, they still see the old you, which is okay because they grew up with you.
But you know, you gotta let them know, hey, it's a new Ebone, man. It's not the same. This is EMCEE, not MC. So it's great, but like that's how that literally happened.
Jeez.
And my son's birthday, January 26th, every year, and it's crazy because that's the same day Kobe died. So like, but I look at it like, yo, okay, God, you're showing me Mamba mentality. Keep going. He could have died on any other day. I literally went to the gravesite to that day and literally looked at my phone and I'm like, yo, Kobe just passed away, and like it just messed us up. But I was like, yo, all right, cool. I gotta switch, because a lot of people in times they look at situations and turn into a negative. And you gotta look at the positive in life in a lot of things, even when things are going bad, because that's what's gonna help you keep going and like overcome those. Of course, I still get sad. There's still days. I'm human. Right? But we've mentally built this strong part in my space where I understand that life is just life. Things are gonna happen that you can't control. So you got to keep going. What are you gonna do? Dwell?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you could literally stay in a puddle, and what are you gonna do? Like,
and that does nothing for you, and then ultimately that'll turn into a shit show at the end of the day.
Exactly. We don't have time for that.
Yeah.
The reality of life is the world doesn't care what problems.
Yeah,
you're going through.
I
It
know.
sucks, but it's the reality.
I know, and 100%, because that's why I don't get too wrapped up in what's going on. 100%. I want to talk to you about one thing: social media. I know we touched on it a little bit, but I feel like your social media is very strategic as well, and it just makes sense now hearing you speak about playing chess. Just even the pictures that you put up with different people. How do you go about your social media?
So like, I'll give a little tip, like, because we always talk about it. Like, for instance, if I meet an artist, like I remember back in the day, it was always a thing for me to just get a picture with the most famous person to show everybody that I'm in these rooms.
Yeah.
But then now as I grew up and realized, like, real relationships, like the Fabulous picture, if it's me and Fab, you swipe, we're having a real conversation about doing stuff in Africa.
Yeah.
And really, like, shout out to Kelly Anthony, he actually bought me the shirt. And we bought him a bottle, and that bottle is what leveraged us to have
a convo.
Got numbers, got his whole team number, and we were able to do business that same night. So like, it's very strategic, because you can meet one of those guys that's just pictures, but then you're labeled, like, you're gonna literally be labeled as, oh, you're just a guy who wants to be around the cool people and get pictures. There's no value to it. Like, there's nothing more coming out of it. And I just try my best to be real. Like, I used to get so caught up in social media coming up. I've been doing this for so long, and now it's not like I don't really care about it, but I know how much value it brings to my business.
100%.
I gotta come back sometimes and like
show people.
And there's a couple apps that I use to just kind of remind myself, like, I gotta post, because in the moment when it's happening, I know it's real life. I'm trying to do the behind the scenes, so there's value in it, so you understand that, like, this is not just a picture, there's business being done. And I could circle back. Like, when I came out jail, jail, you come out, you think you're gonna be a rapper, ran all these rap and stuff. But the first song I put up, I did a rap, and I mentioned Barack Obama, blow up, be big like Barack Obama. And I did a vision board, and the vision board had Barack Obama on it, and then I became the valedictorian of that program, and they gave me a plaque.
Wow.
I had Martin Luther King, had Barack Obama and other people on it as well too, Malcolm X. And I literally said, I gotta manifest this, like, this is big, but I didn't know how I was gonna do it.
Wow.
But now if you look back 2014, you'll scroll down to my Instagram, you'll see the rap is right there. With Barack Obama. So it's not, it may not happen 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, but I always keep the story aligned, so that it's storytelling. My page is literally storytelling.
100%. Because even when I was looking through it today, I couldn't believe how much work that you've done in such a short period of time.
I was actually cheating at Instagram, because I'm like, you're only allowed to have 3 pins. I need like
10, 20.
I need more than 3, because it's like,
you have a lot of big moments.
Big, huge.
Jeez. Well, okay. The last 2 questions we ask everybody on the show, and you don't have to say any names for the first one, but for the first question, it's, what's the best advice that you received, and what's the worst advice you received?
Deep. I gotta think about this.
No names.
This one is big, because I want to be real. See, my manager Ike's in the cut. He be giving me advice every day, so I'm trying to. He comes with the gems a lot. Like, he's literally changed my whole life. But what is one thing? I'm gonna go to him though. I gotta do, what's one thing? Because he's right here.
Okay, go ahead.
What's one thing? No, I'm gonna bring it up. No, I'm gonna bring it up. What's one thing that the best advice? Honestly, probably the best advice he's probably given me is, like, literally what we were just talking about. Like, when trials and tribulations happen, it's already happened, right? So, like, there's nothing you can do with it, because you always want to be the better version of yourself. So just focus on you. Don't listen to that outside noise. Lock in and really understand who's there for you. Because it took me probably till up to this year to realize that as much as I know people, I don't have a lot of friends. Like, you think you do.
And you're around so many energies.
And, like, people will show you through your, like, when you're going through difficult times or when you're going through anything in life, who's really your true friend. And, like, I can really say, as much as I know people, and there's, like, you know, we have relationships. Like, there's not a lot of people I can call my friend and be like, that's my true friend. I know through thick and thin, down times.
Damn, my back.
And that's one of them, and that's through him. Because now we're like in a whole new space business wise. Like, we just opened up a company, the shoe cleaning company, Luxury Shoe Cleanser, and it's like we're building something so great that he started in UK. Now we've started in Toronto, and you know, we're just 3 weeks in, but like the people who are supporting us are not even really our people. Yeah, we have our day ones and stuff coming, but the other day, a random guy, now he's he's my people. He dropped 22 shoes.
Yo, jeez.
He had to remind me at the store where I met him, and I met him at my birthday. I didn't know him from nowhere, but that's our number one customer right now.
Yeah, wow.
So it's like the outside noise, we don't care about it. Whatever's happening, we just focus on what's happening right now, who's our family, who's really there for you. Like, I tell people all the time, whoever's watching this, who called you or texted you to check up on you to make sure you're good today?
Yeah, facts.
Maybe not today, yesterday, or like in the week.
Yeah.
Life goes on, people are life, and you know, like, the people who I'm close to and stuff, like, we don't have to talk every day, but it's like, if literally all my calls are business, and literally that's it.
Yeah.
Like, barely have time. Now, worst advice?
Yeah, worst advice that you ever received.
I think the worst advice I ever received in life was, you gotta be a gallus. I think that was
that was mine. I swear to God, that was mine. It's one of the worst, like, it was the most poisonous things that how we grew up, because, like, actually, this is your segment.
No, it was because at the time you're coming up, you think like, this is cool, this is what you need to do, and then you get older and you're like, bro,
it's a distraction.
You know, I'm trying to get married, trying to have a family. I don't have time for nothing. Like, I don't have time for this stuff. Yeah, and that was probably the worst, because at that time, I don't want to give it off too much of the people who know who gave me that advice, but we laugh about it now. Like, when I look at them, because he has so many kids now, so we laugh. Like, you know, I don't want to say too much. A lot of my people have a lot of kids, so but like, we laugh about it. I'm like, yo, imagine I really took what you said in. Like, I'll be wilding. Because I'm seeing the other side of it. I'm like, no, I don't want this. But that was probably the worst.
Yeah, to be honest, that was mine, but just because of like, even just growing up, just wilding, and how distracted I was, how much energy is going around to different places, and where maybe if I utilize that energy properly, where I can even be right now, you know, or just having one person, you know what I'm saying? So I just felt like that was one of my worst advices, to be honest.
Yep. And I'll throw another one too. Like, back then, younger, we always thought we had to finesse. You had to co-wall. Like,
yes. You know,
it's
different though. I feel like we grew up in an era where that was the thing to do, but now it's being, I guess this era now is being authentic is what wins.
100%. You know, staying true to yourself. But yeah, you made me laugh. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Okay, so last question. We like to make predictions on the show. So when you come back, I want to say, you know, Ebone, he did say he was going to do that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years. Okay, so I'm, jeez, it's crazy. That's good. So by that time, for sure, owning like from 5 to 10 properties, owning like more businesses, and literally being able to like have a company that births other MCs.
I was just gonna say, yo, why don't you agency for yourself?
Yeah. So
you have that many connections.
That's the one, because we're low key doing it because sometimes we're overbooked and we gotta like spread.
Delegate.
Like, I do a lot of weddings, so like Ike was literally telling me, yo, we need to do a separate page. What's crazy is I have the voice of the weddings page already.
Okay.
I already made sure I got that. But making sure that like the wedding space, because I know everybody, like when it comes to a wedding, everything that's needed in a wedding, I know. Yeah. So you just need to have a company umbrella. Yeah. And you just outsource all these things. So actually, even
off cam, I'm gonna give you somebody's contact. He was on the show. He does the Raptors 905 MC.
Okay, dope.
And I don't know if you guys can connect in any time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let's definitely do that. But yeah, that's the, and you'll hear me like one day I'll be the voice of the Raptors too. I was talking about it the other day. Shout out to Mark Strong, who's been holding it down for years. But you know, it's just how it goes. I seen how this industry and things go, but like in that sports space after the World Cup, I was like, oh yeah, I could do whatever.
You can do anything at this point.
Resume speaks for itself.
Okay, so 5 years, 5 to 10 properties. We're gonna get the agency. What agency properties? That's it for now.
And what I say, properties, the agency, the more businesses.
More businesses.
Yeah, more. Yeah, and by then I'll be married with my kids.
Okay.
And I'll be,
going
black
on
as the
easy,
new rich. I'm easy chilling. I'm over the lifestyle. I'm over it.
All right, brother. I want to thank you for coming because we've been bouncing back for a little while to get this interview. I felt like, you gave a lot of gems because honestly, I wanted to know your story for a while, to be honest. And like, I know a lot of MCs, and I want to let people know that, you can take this worldwide. Mm-hmm. You can make a living out of this. You can branch out into other businesses. And like you said, you're the voice of the culture. So I appreciate you coming.
I appreciate my brother. Thanks.
Everything black on black. If I studied that facts on facts.